Hey, everybody. Welcome tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. To those of you all who are watching this by YouTube, you can find us live every Tuesday at 9 o'clock normally, right on Facebook Live. But tonight, we're starting with a special time tonight. So I'm going to wait till people come in, and then we're going to get started. Is that okay? Hey everybody, hello, hello, hello. We've got a great topic planned for tonight. For those of you all who are joining me for the first time, thank you for tuning in to Tuesdays. I tell you, there's no other Tuesday like this, okay? Tuesdays with Tia. We're always here, normally at 9 o'clock, but tonight we started tonight at a very special time at 9:30, just for this time. I'm so glad you all joined me. Do me a favor. Let me know if you've got some friends by pushing the share button and letting them know that they can tune in. Especially ladies, listen, I'm talking to you tonight, especially my single ladies. And so if you know any single women, men, I want you to chime in. I want this to be interactive. I want this to be something that everybody can enjoy. So I'm going to be watching and seeing exactly what it is that you're posting. And then I want to know what you have to say. I want to know your questions as we go, okay? And so if you don't mind, if you have something that you want to ask, by all means, if it pertains to this particular subject matter, make sure that you ask the question right here, right down there. And if it does not, pertain to what we're talking about tonight, but just something you really want to know, which many people do, then I'm going to ask that you will go on and inbox me, or you can go to my official Tia McCrary page, and you can ask me questions there as well. All right, so we're going to get started in just a couple of seconds. Hopefully, now can you all hear the music? Thank you, Sharmika. Thank you. That's your song, Latasha. Hey, Gigi, how are you, sweetie? Oh, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I enjoy sharing this time with you guys. You know, I've always wanted to have a big sister that I can call and I can, kind of bounce things off on as I was dating and marriage and relationships and stuff. And so I didn't have that, but I tell you what, I've committed to being your big sister. So I'm going to be your big sister, and I'm going to talk about all those things that are important to you. You've been waiting all week. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Make sure you guys go on and share this that we have started. All right, go on and push that share button. If it's something you like that I say, make sure you show me some thumbs up. Thank you so much for that. Let me know that you're here. If you're just tuning in, make sure I know you're here. Say something to me. If it's nothing more than hi, let me know what city you are from. Let me know that you are paying attention. We got a good topic tonight, and this topic tonight actually has been born out of several questions that I have been asked from different people, and I'm going to actually end this conversation with that question, and you probably will already know the answer by the time we get to it. But I actually saw something on TV last week. I want to say it was last week, and it kind of disturbed me, and so I wanted to kind of talk to my girls, talk to you all, see how you doing. You're from the Bahamas? Brenda, I didn't know you were from the Bahamas. Hey, Michael. Hey, Latasha, you're from Ohio. Hey, Lady Watkins, thank you all so much for joining. Okay, well, listen, people are steadily coming in. Again, keep inviting people in. We are going to get started right now. Now, those of you all who are not familiar with me, I am Tia Wilson McCrary. I am a person who really enjoys assisting people and helping them with real issues that pertain to them, whether it is a financial issue, a business issue, whether it's a relationship issue, or whether it is a personal issue that you really need assistance with. I have been known as one that not only counsels, but I'm actually a pastor. When you come to me and you're sitting down and you're watching me here on Tuesdays with Tia, I'm not standing in the capacity of a pastor, but I am a Christian, and so you will hear things that are relative to my faith. And so I hope you don't get offended. I promise I won't try to, but I'm always keep it real with who I am, all right? So we're actually going to get started. We've got a good number here. Hey, Chris Sunny, how are you? Hey, Q, how are you? Hey, Margaret. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Okay, so let's just go on and get started, all right? Is the music too loud? Can you all hear me? Because I don't want the music to be so distracting. Okay. Well, I turned it down a little bit. So tonight, we are going to be talking about the art of the chase, the thrill of the hunt. I mean, it's a serious topic. Over the last several weeks, I've been doing this Tuesdays with Tier, and thank you for the love. And I've had several people ask me, what do you think about dating nowadays? It's so difficult to find somebody to date. It's so hard to get somebody who is actually mentally and emotionally ready. And one of those things I think that I always say that's synonymous with everybody is A, of course, you got to make sure that you're ready. B, you got to know what you want. You got to know what your non-negotiables are, okay? And C, you got to make sure that you're in the right timing, because that's everything. But let's go right into our topic. I don't want to give too much away, all right? And so one of the things I was watching Steve Harvey a couple of weeks ago, maybe it's about a week ago now, and I happened to see, I happened to see a young lady, and she was amongst a panel of other women, and it was so crazy because Steve was trying to pair this young woman up, this young man up with various opportunities that were there, various women, as Steve often does. He calls himself the chief love officer. And so one of the things that the ladies were introducing themselves, but as they had some time, even amongst in the group, one of the ladies, she stood up and she said, "Excuse me, can I see you for a minute?" Now, if you watched me last week, I talked about that pack mentality, and we'll get more into that this week, just in case you missed it. But make sure y'all go back and listen to those other videos too. But she said, "Can I see you?" And so she asked the bachelor to come where she was. And she basically told him, "Well, I basically don't want you to ever forget me, and I want you to remember me." And she then goes in for this long, passionate kiss with this man that she doesn't even know his last name. And it disturbed me because I am still old-fashioned. Yes, I am an alpha female. Yes, I know how to be a beta female when it comes to my relationship. However, I also understand the importance of being a very feminine and very ladylike person if I want to be received as a lady and not just a chick. And so I see this so common. It happens so commonly. I see it so often, even when I go out and I may be in a social setting and I will watch women. I'll watch, as I call, the dance. And I watch women, and they come on to men so aggressively. And I get it because I talk to my girls. Most of my friends are single. And they tell me, "Tier, you have no idea what it's like to be out here to be single. You have no idea. You got somebody. I'm still trying to get somebody." And so they pull out all these tricks out of the hat as though, they got to go through all of this. And the reality of it is that men are very, very simplistic. They still believe that they are the hunters. And we as women have to learn how to do the dance called the chase. Now, here's the thing. We don't chase the men, and I think that's where some of us get it wrong. We feel as though we've got to chase men. We don't ever have to chase men, because if you have to start a relationship off or an interest off chasing them, you're going to have to keep chasing them, because you're teaching them that you are not worthy to be chased or to be chosen. And so tonight, I want to really, really deal with some of those things. Many women complain, like I said, even about men's responses. I'll go to an event, and I'll see that they are not, talking from a woman's perspective, a single woman's perspective, and they will say, well, men are not coming up to me. They, they might look stunning, they might have it all together, but they're looking and they're sounding and they're acting and they're behaving like they're not interested. And here I am. I came to meet someone. I came to a mixer. I came to an event, and I see a handsome man or a man across the way, and I see that he may look at me, but he doesn't say anything. Or when he comes to say something to me, he has a way of sabotaging everything that he potentially could be introduced to. And that happens a lot because let's be honest, ladies, and I am so pro guy. We have to remember that many men, not most, but many men have never been taught how to be chivalrous. They've never been taught how to approach a lady, or if they were taught by somebody who actually had no clue, some other guy who thought he knew, and he had all the wrong information, okay? And so they then in turn, they go and perpetuate that same thing. And so when they come to us, they don't know what to say, or sometimes they feel as though they're not worthy to come and talk to you, or sometimes they just get scared and nervous. Now, you do have those men who are just aggressive and they are absolute hunters and they want to make sure that you know that they are there. But I'm talking about those other guys. And so I'm going to give you some wisdom and some insight on how to deal with those guys as well. But, and again, I'm not a professional at all this, but I've been living for a while. So there are some things that I have learned in counseling and watching people and just, being single myself at a time that I understood and knew exactly what to do to get what I wanted. And so I'm going to share, or whom I wanted, I should say. So I'm going to share this with you. So, it's very important that when men sabotage, their conversation by you and with you, and this is how it usually sounds. It sounds like, hey, beautiful, how you doing? Or you go walk up to somebody and say, hi, my name is Susie. Oh, hi. You're so beautiful. I saw you standing over there, but I didn't want to say anything because I'm sure that there's a lot of other men that try to talk to you. No. Warning. Guys, if there's any guys listening and you're single, do not do that. That is self-sabotaging conversation. Don't do that, because oftentimes if we have come to a place and you don't see a ring on our finger, and that's another thing, ladies, if you're single and you're waiting for your right husband or right mate or whatever it is, or somebody that's interested in you, y'all stop wearing that ring on that finger. Y'all stop doing that. It sends so many mixed messages, and then all you want to complain about it ain't no good men around here, and they are, but they can't read your mind, and we're gonna get into that in just a second too. But I want to make sure that you understand that there are some men that are not comfortable in their own skin. And that doesn't mean that they won't be a good candidate for a mate. And it doesn't mean that they won't be a good guy. It just means that perhaps they have been rejected a lot. And let's be clear. Everybody's got baggage. Everybody has been hurt. Everybody has been through something. And if you haven't been through something, then that simply means that you have not worked up the courage or have the experience to know how. So ladies, I need y'all to cut them some slack, because some of you all are kind of rough on the brothers. I know, because they come and tell me they rough, Bishop. I try to say stuff to them, but the wrong things just come out. One thing I will always say, gentlemen, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. And gentlemen, when you're out and you're talking to women and you're married, keep your ring on, okay? Please. Thank you so very much. All right, so many women complain about men's responses to them and being aggressive towards them and in hopes that it will get them. I should say, many women complain about men's responses to them as they're basically being aggressive to them, because they've been told, hey, if you want something, we've been out in the marketplace for a long time. If you want a man, you see something you want, you go get it. You want a house, you want, you go get it. You see a car you want, you go get it. You see a purse you want, you go get it. Well, with men, it's a little bit different, ladies. And that's the way God made it. Whether you think it's fair, whether you think it's right, it's not up for us to decide. It's nothing wrong with you approaching a gentleman, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But there's a way to do it so that you don't emasculate him, okay? Because he still has to be the hunter. There is a thrill that comes with a chase, but there is a prize that a man feels when you allow him to hunt. Now, I'm not talking about a predator, okay? I'm not talking about somebody who has, a history of predatory behavior. I'm not talking about that. I am just saying men that are interested and willing. Just, y'all get what I'm saying, right? Thank you for the love. All right. So one of the things that is very, very important that women must remember, that they have to present themselves. They have to present themselves to a man in a way that he knows that it's okay to pursue the hunt. You don't want somebody that's going to come and pounce on you. One of the things I always say, I'm a delicate flower. I don't want somebody to come and just, don't do that. That scares me. Even with me being a strong person, a confident person, I still like the delicacy of the dance. And so if that's what you like, then you're going to have to learn how to participate in that dance. You can't come across as overly aggressive simply because he's not moving fast enough. And I see that so many times when people say, well, he's moving too slow. Or even if you've been dating somebody for a while and you're like, he's moving too slow. He ain't said nothing. He ain't took me to see his mama. I'm still trying to, get $5 out of him. See, your mindset is all wrong. In this dance, you cannot afford to act desperate. And if you feel as though he's been waiting too long, then you know what to do. You need to cut the cord if you don't feel as though he's worth the investment. Okay? And so one of the things that is very, very important is that you recognize that when men are not turned on by a female, aggression says, I'm easy. Aggression from a female says, I'm a freak. Aggression from a female means to them that there is no resistance that's been put up to the men that came before them. Okay? And so although we may come across as saying, he say you've known me for a few decades. She knows what she's talking about. Yes, I do know what I'm talking about. Yes, we've been friends for a very long time. But it's very, very important that you recognize that men are genetically disposed to be hunters. And so when we come across as too aggressive to them, it sends a warning sign up to them that this is not who you want to take home to your mama. This is not who you want to take home to your kids. This is not the one you want to introduce to your boys. This is the one you want to have. And I don't mean have as in till death do you part. This is the one that's good for the taking, that's easy, that's willing to take a risk. And I understand there are some women that are going to watch this video. And if you out for just the hookup, then I'm not talking to you. But I am talking to those who are interested in being more than just a receptacle for a man's extracurricular activity. So you all understand what I'm saying. All right. And so we have to make sure that we don't come across as easy, that we don't come across as being, I hate using that word, a freak, because there's nothing wrong with being that way with your husband. Okay, so let's just keep it within the confines of this conversation. But you don't need to be that way with a man, because he's going to say that you're not showing any resistance if he is not your man, okay? And the first thing he's going to think about is, even if you say, I'm normally not like this, I've never done this, and it might actually be true, but that's not the signal you're giving off, okay? And so it's very, very important that you behave in such a way that you allow him to see you in the best possible light. Now, you may be a closet freak. I don't know. And if that's you, that's okay. That's your thing. But there's a time and a place to show all of that. And that is not when you are first encountering somebody. Okay? And so the next thing I want to make sure, and I hope you all are taking notes, because I think this stuff is kind of noteworthy, because sometimes it may be things that you probably have already heard, but you've forgotten and you're not putting into practice. And that's one of the things I always want to make sure that when I'm talking to you, that I'm giving you something that you can actually put into practice. Okay, well, I need to put on some more music. All right, let's see if we can find some more music. Yeah, let's see if we can. This is one of my favorite songs, actually. So, and so it's very important that as you are pursuing, ladies, learn how to pump your brakes. Y'all say it with me. Pump my brakes. Pump your brakes, because some of you are moving too quick. I've seen people who've met somebody, and within 2 weeks, they're like, I'm going to marry him. He going to be my baby daddy. He gonna be my husband. Or they see him because he rolls into a certain place with a certain style of suit and he reeks of money, or he leads with his money. And we'll talk about that in a little bit too, because men, now let me do that right now. Men, when you approach us, please do not lead with your don't lead with your money or your sexuality. Don't lead with innuendo. That is a turnoff to us. And ladies, we can act as though we're looking for it, because if that's what you're looking for, men are aggressive and they're going to always use their strongest bait. And if they feel as though that their strongest bait is that check, trust and believe that's the bait they're going to use on you. And even though you might think that he's doing something, even though you might think, that he's being sweet, he's taking you on vacation, or he's doing something real sweet for you, trust and believe, if he thinks that you are easy, if he thinks that you're somebody who's already been conquered, or somebody that's easy to be conquered, that shows no resistance, there is no hunt, trust and believe, he'll give you a little bit of coin, he'll throw you a little something, he'll throw you a bag, he might take you on a little trip, but it means nothing to him, because you haven't given him any reason to pursue you. So learn this. Pump the brakes. That's right, Pastor. Tell them, pump your brakes. Okay? And so it also sends a message that not only that you're easy, but it also sends a message to those who have predatory behavior that Please pick me to take advantage of. One of the hardest things that I watch is I watch my sisters out there, and they are really, they're trying to do all the right things. They're not coming across as overly aggressive, but they're coming across as too inviting. You have to show some type of restraint. You know, one of my goddaughters, she's in the process of dating differently, and I've been coaching her on how to date differently. And for the first time, she's dating someone, and she is taking her time. She's not getting physical with him. She's not, doing wifey duties for him to convince him that pick me, pick me, pick me. No, she's taking her time, and she's enjoying getting to know him. And I'll tell you something. Anytime you take the time to get to know the person you're trying to get to know will definitely show themselves in time. But if you miss out on that opportunity of patience, you will never get the opportunity to really know them the way you should. Before you jump headlong, and before you know it, your feelings are all involved. You mad at him, he done broke your heart, and now you're bitter. So we don't want that to happen, right? We want to make sure that we're doing this the right way. And so we don't want you to send a message to somebody that you're easy to be taken advantage of, or while you're trying to be sweet, or you're trying to be nice, and they trying to buy you every cocktail if you're out, they sending you drinks or champagne or whatever. And well, can you come up to my room? Because last week we talked about, ladies, when you go on a date, the best thing you can do when you start dating, or when you're really just getting to know somebody before you're exclusive with that person, and I've always said, date as many people as you can. Just don't get intimate with any of them, because you don't want to stretch yourself that way. And if you're a Christian woman, that's not the lifestyle we're supposed to be living anyway. But I will say this, and I understand, because I get it all the times. Bishop, pastor, coach, you don't understand. I got needs. God knows what your needs are, but he also knows that he's giving you the discipline to be kept and to keep yourself, if you so choose to, okay? So it's a matter of choice. And that way you don't have any regrets if something goes wrong. You've not already extended the most vulnerable and most valuable asset, which is the innermost part of who you are, your soul and your body, to someone who's undeserving, okay? And so it also sends a message that it could potentially, I should say this, can send a message that you're an overly dominant woman. One thing men don't like is an overly dominant woman, because what it means is to them is you're going to be in and I don't know another way to say it, but you're going to be in a pissing contest with them. That means that you feel as though that you are equal. I'm not talking about equal pay. I'm not talking about equally as in intelligence. I'm not talking about that. Again, this is about you being chased. This is about you being pursued. This is about you being hunted in a way that's welcoming. I don't mean hunted, again, for those of you who are just watching me, as somebody who, somebody's trying to do detriment to you. But I'm talking about that dance, the thrill of that dance, almost like an intimate tango. There has to be a leader, and there has to be a follower. And one of the things I have found is that if you want to have a really, really great relationship, everybody has to be in their proper place. People can't be out of place, because if the husband is out of place, then the wife will end up being misplaced. Okay? And so you don't want that going into any kind of relationship. And most of the ladies that I'm talking to, I know you really do want to be married. And so it's very, very important that you don't date like you did when you was 12. You don't date, when you was 25. You need to start dating like a grown woman. And grown women know the importance of waiting, of valuing herself, and making sure that that man values her as well. And along the journey, you're going to see a lot of frogs. I didn't say kiss a lot of frogs. I said you're going to see a lot of frogs. And that doesn't mean that you need to let them come and lay on your lily pad. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Amen. All right. And so again, it sends a very, very wrong message sometimes that you are overly dominant. And that is not something that men enjoy. They enjoy the hunt. It feels as though that they have conquered something. It's like a man who hunts an actual prey. They want to feel as though they have a trophy. I know, and I asked my husband, has anybody ever acted or said something to you as though I was a trophy wife to you? And he said something to me, as I'll put it this way: people have come that way, not quite directly, and there's nothing wrong with being a trophy, but be a trophy of substance. Men like to know that they have something, or they're pursuing something that's worth having. And so that means it has to be put up a resistance. I don't know if you all have ever watched the channel, that I can't think of the channel. It's like, I call it the Wild Channel, but they have it when you see animals, lions go and hunt for antelope and things like that. You'll see them, they wait and they lay and they're cool and they watch the stride, and they find out the one that's lagging behind, the one that doesn't have so much support, the one that's an individual, and then he will go in. And this is why I want to bring this back up, ladies, and I talked about it last week. It's so important that if you're going to go out with your girls, as most of us do, it's very important that if you're going to meet somebody, that you make sure that when you're meeting them and you're with your girlfriends, that you do step aside. Now, don't make the same mistake that I told you starting this video, that the other young lady came in, hello, my name is, and then started to kiss him in the mouth so he could choose her. No, don't do anything like that. Always be a lady. Ladies attract grown men. Okay? Anything less than that, you're going to attract a immature, acting either male or a little boy who's trying to act like he's grown, and he's not ready for the type of relationship or the type of woman that you really want to be inevitably, okay? And so understand again, men enjoy the hunt. That's very important. They enjoy the hunt. It feeds their need and their thrill to conquer. They need to feel as though I am conquering this, not to subdue it and to take it over, but to capture it and to call it my own, to take care of it, to provide. You know, I know a lot of very wealthy men. And over the years, I've been fortunate enough, you know, maybe to kind of hook some of them up with some of the single ladies that I come across, because many of them come to me because they trust my judgment and they trust the office that I sit in, that I will not steer them to the wrong person. And one of the challenges is they say, you know what, it's not even about a woman telling me that she has her own PhD. It's not even about her telling me that, you know, that she can handle her own and she taking care of her own bills. At a certain age, they're expecting you to take care of your own bills, but they still like to know that they can take care of you. That doesn't mean that you're asking them for everything, and we'll go into that in just a little bit. But it does mean that you give them the opportunity to be and show that they can secure you, they can protect you, they can handle you, and they can provide for you. You have to give them that opportunity. And sometimes, I get it, men don't always get it. They don't always get it, I understand. But for the most part, a real man that you spend time with, he will get to know who you are and know what you require. That's why I said, if you're going to enter into any relationship, know what you require. Because you can't expect him to tell you what you require, and it's your life and he's just meeting you, or he's just getting to know you. Okay? And so, like I said, they don't hunt in that pack mentality. So separate yourself and go introduce yourself. I've had so many women on all of these videos and all of these live broadcasts that have asked, you know, is it okay to approach a man? And here's my answer. Absolutely. It's okay for you to go and say, hi, my name is Sally. How are you? I saw you over here. I just wanted to come and meet you. You seem like you're an interesting guy. Or, you know what? I just wanted to come and let you know you have on a fantastic suit. You look very nice. Or if they smell good, because one of those things about us, gentlemen, if you're watching, we like a man with clean fingernails. We like your hair to be done. We like your hands to be clean and not rough. Even if you're a construction worker, get some paraffin baths for them hands, okay? And then we like to know that you smell good and that you look good, okay? So BO is a no-no, okay? So you have to tell them that sometimes. Now listen, if they're coming from the gym or you meet them at the gym, that's par for the course. But if that's not the case, find something to compliment them about. That's one thing that you learn in customer service as well. When you're meeting a person, you're coming across a new customer or potential customer, say something nice to him. A lot of times, ladies, we always want to be the one that's complimented, but men like to be complimented too. They don't need your approval, but they appreciate your approval, okay? And so it's very important that you recognize that you have to be sweet. Come on, y'all say it with me. It's okay to be sweet. All right. I understand too that when you want a man's attention, that sometimes they don't always respond. Again, I start off by saying there's some men that are exception to the alpha male role. They are very laid back. They are not as aggressive as you probably would like them to be. They're not overly aggressive. They're shy. Then go on, like I said, go and talk to them. Let them know that you want their attention. If you enjoy a round of golf, it's okay for you to go say, hey, can I come and join you for a round of golf? Or can you help me pick up a golf club, or if you're at a philanthropic event, because I talked about places that you can meet great people and great places to meet people in previous videos, which you have to watch. And again, share this with somebody so we can get even more people watching now. It's very, very important that you find and ingratiate yourself into the moment. So if it's music, you see somebody, go over, hey, how you doing? Are you enjoying this music? I am so glad that I came tonight. Is this one of your favorite bands? Have you heard them before? I mean, just simplistic conversations, nothing cumbersome, nothing over aggressive, nothing egregious, just simple conversation that flows out very, very easily, okay? And so one of the things that I want to talk to you is about what that dance looks like. Now, that's some of the conversation that you should have. But you want to make sure that how you present yourself is inviting. I go places and I see women like this. Oh, they like this. Y'all excuse my cup. I just came from a restaurant. He talking to you and you looking all over the place. Yeah. If you're not interested in him, just say, you know what? I really appreciate you coming over here. And just talk to him. Now, if you see somebody that you're actually interested in, and that person is standing there, just excuse yourself sweetly, because again, you don't know who that person knows. And even if that person's not good for you, they are good for someone. So it may be somebody for someone else. And so how you treat them and how you talk to them and how you interact with them is also practice for the man that you're looking for. Because I promise you, no man is going to put up with somebody that's got a stank attitude. Stank attitudes or us need to go back to the toy store and hang out with the children's toys. That is not how grown women act, okay? And so we always want to make sure that we come across as very, very nice. And you can be confident and still be very, very nice. All right? And so it's important how you present yourself. You want to present yourself as available but not desperate. You want to make sure that even when you're going someplace and you're as many call it, being sexy, because I did talk about how if you want to go out on the town or something like that, make sure that you're not in your church clothes if it's not a church event. If you're in church and you meet somebody, make sure that you're not looking like you just came in from the club. I'm talking about to those, and don't tell me about come as you are when it comes to church. No, because you don't come as you are when you at work. You dress appropriately. So we do know guidelines, and we have to, if we want those type of respectable responses from people, we have to hold ourselves accountable to the kind of respect that we want by how we present ourselves. Don't present yourself, chewing gum. If you see somebody, grab a napkin and take it out and say, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Make sure that you're coming across as the caliber of man that you want, because you attract what it is that you do and how you behave. And so if you're acting ratchet, chances are you're going to attract a ratchet man. If you're acting classy, trust me, a classy man is going to watch you for a while, because what he's not going to do is get involved with somebody that could potentially make him look bad in front of his peers, his business colleagues, his family, his friends. I don't care if he's acting ratchet himself. He still wants a little bit of mystery, and he still wants a class that comes with a woman. And so always remember that. And many women don't know class because they've not been taught, and I understand that. But get around some people that act like they know how to act when they go out. Now, some of you all may call them bougie, sedity, snooty, whatever adjective you want to use, and that's fine. But I'm trying to help you understand that even with that, there's still a way of being welcoming, but without being too free. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all grown, all right? And so here's the other thing. Men love confidence. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you how much I hear that from men. I want a woman that's confident. Can you connect me with a woman that understands that she is valuable? Can you connect me with somebody that I don't have to always constantly reassure them that they're beautiful all the time? That they don't mind giving you a compliment, but they don't want to have to feel as though they have to be a physician and do surgery emotionally on you so that you can be ready for a relationship, specifically if you're putting yourself out there as though you are ready for one. And so, it's okay. Be confident. Look a person in the eye. When you shake their hand like hey, it's a firm handshake. You never know. They might want to do business with them. And a lot of things are told by that handshake. A lot of things are understood by hello, how are you? You understand what I'm saying? And so very important that you come across as confident and know, and see, and this is one thing, and this is a phrase that I always use, and y'all can use it. Confident women know how to be noticed and not just seen. Let me say that again. Confident women know how to be noticed and not just seen, because anybody can just look at you. Anybody can just glance your way. Anybody just can come up and have a conversation. But there's a difference between being seen and there's a difference between being noticed. And one of the things is you don't just want to be, oh, I noticed that red flower over there. No, you want to be seen. You want to leave an impression that person says, who was that? Do you know her? Who is she? Wow, she's striking. Did you see how she walked in the room? She took over the whole room. And notice I didn't say anything about how you look, ladies. I didn't say anything about how you look, because there's plenty of women who carry themselves like perfect ladies. And you may not think that they're the prettiest thing. And you might say, you know what? I'm cuter than her. Why she got him? Because she was confident. And she knew how to act. And she knew how to present herself in such a way where she didn't take his position and be the hunter, but she was willing to do the dance and be chased and be the hunted. Okay? And so it's very, very important. Okay? And so here's another one. If he has to be continually persuaded to talk to you, ladies, if you see somebody that you're interested in and you have to continually come up to him, that can be cumbersome. Just leave it alone. Because if he wants your phone number, one of two things is going to happen. He's going to send his wing guy over if he's shy. He's going to ask somebody that's in the place, if you all are at a place and he has people that's familiar to him, or you all have people in common. Or he's going to ask you, how can he get in touch with you, or ask you for his card. Or he may offer his and give you the option of calling him. And so it's very, very important that if a man is not acting as though he's interested, don't force yourself on him. Don't do that. Whatever you do, do not force yourself on a man. Again, that's overly aggressive behavior. And that is something that is shunned by men, by most men. Again, we're talking about normal, confident, alpha men who enjoy the thrill of the hunt. Okay? And so the next thing I want to talk to you about is learn positive interest points. What do I mean by that? That means find something that he says that is interesting, which means you've got to start listening. You know, one of the things that I talked about last week is about the power of Delilah. She was powerful and able to go and get into the places of Samson's heart because she was willing to do this. And listen, a lot of times, ladies, we are so continuously talking that we don't take the time to listen. So I'm going to encourage you, when you meet somebody or you're getting to know somebody, although you want him to know everything about you and put it all on the table to see if it's a good fit, ladies, again, take your time. And if you're dating multiple men, again, not sleeping with them, not being intimate in any kind of way, but just getting to know somebody, because that's what dating is. You can date multiple people as long as you don't get them mixed up. Okay, don't call somebody the wrong name, all right? And sit and listen to what it is that interests them and let them know that you are listening. You know, ask them questions. One of the hardest things that I see, and I hate seeing it, is women, they talk to men and they start asking them 20 questions. It's like they're interviewing them for a job. And it's like, excuse me, what in the world are you doing? Why are you asking these questions that don't have nothing to do with you? Why are you sitting up here acting like, you know, he's got to ask you for a promotion just so that he can ask you maybe for a cup of coffee, or sit down and ask you for his, you know, your number? That's actually unnecessary. So you don't want to make it difficult for the guy, okay? And so again, make sure that you're listening to him and not interrogating him, because that's going to send a sure signal that you are a yapper, that you are a nagger, that you won't be supportive, that you're going to always want your way. And the worst thing to be lumped up is a selfish woman. And all those are qualities of a selfish person. So if it's going to be you and someone else, you got to learn how to make it you and someone else, not you by yourself. And he happens to be a fan that's sitting there watching, okay? And so we've got to learn how to do something about that. Can y'all work on that, please? Because I see it too often. And I know that you all see it with your girlfriends, because I need to know what his social security number is. I need to know, you know, yeah, you do need to know if he's a felon or not. But I need to know, you know, how much money he's got in the bank. And I need to know what his credit score is. And I need to know if he got 15 kids and is he paying current on child support. Yes, you need to know all those things. But those are things you get to know along the way. That's not something you come across as the first time. And don't act like I'm doing this because I want to save time. You're not saving time. You are blowing time. You are not being a good manager of time. And so again, pump your brakes and learn how to back up just a little bit. Men love that, okay? All right, the next thing I'm going to tell you this is make sure that when you're having a conversation, even if you have a little colorful conversation, y'all know colorful conversations, that means that you might use some profanity, then I'm going to ask you to refrain. Because unless that is a type of relationship and you know that that's the thing he likes, that's the kind of relationship you want, that's the kind of conversation you are accustomed to, don't do that. Because whatever you present to them, that is, you're setting the standard of what they're going to springboard off of. And so they're going to think that it's okay if they call you the B word, if that's the kind of words and language that you're using all the time. So make sure, and yes, I'm talking to Christian women too. Sometimes our mouth can be a little bit much, all right? And so I'm trying to help you understand, if you're going to talk to a gentleman, don't be dropping F-bombs. Don't be dropping, the N-I-G-G-A word. Don't be, using words like punk and he's a this and he's a... Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? That is something, you want to lose a guy quick, do that. And you will lose him quick. One of the things I did, and I asked several men, I said, tell me some of the things that you all do not like. And I have a list for you all. So you all make sure you hold on. And I'm actually almost done. And so make sure you all are paying close attention. We ain't going to run long tonight. All right. The other thing is, with your colorful conversations, make sure that you all don't talk about sex. A lot of times, like I said, men, they are very, very aggressive. And some of them, especially if they've been drinking or they're high strung, okay, sometimes they like to lead with their wallet or they lead with their sexuality. All right? You have to learn as a woman to don't allow it to turn you off unless you know absolutely that is a turn on for you. For me, I don't particularly think that it's appropriate. But again, that's me. But don't sit and have conversations with men about sexual content. Okay? Don't let him disrespect you while he's talking to you and he's looking at somebody else's behind. When he's talking to you, I remember when I met my husband, I remember his friend was trying to holler at me, and he was stuck right here, ass right here. I said, lift your head up, honey. I'm up here. And so sometimes they are mesmerized by your beauty and they don't recognize what they are doing. But make it very clear, no, sweetie, we don't do that. I'm up here. Talk to me. I want to hear what's on your mind, but I want to hear what's in your mind. I don't want to hear what you're trying to come up with right now, because that ain't happening. And sometimes you do have to put folks in their place, but do it in a way that does not break him down. I hate to see women break men down, specifically intentionally. It's unnecessary. And so when the next woman gets him, he's so broken and he's so beaten down, or he's so unsure, unsteady, unconfident of himself, of even how to chase, that he doesn't pursue, and he becomes the kind of guy that you don't want. And chances are some of the guys that don't approach you or don't deal with you, if you know they actually are interested in you, it's because somebody else broke them before you got them. And so don't be afraid to be willing to put in the work to help him be reassured that you're not one of them, okay? And so make sure that you don't talk about, sex indirectly or any innuendos. Do not, and I heard this from many gentlemen and that I polled before I got before you and talked, because I do my research. They all said this: do not cuss at me. Okay, we talked about that. Do not talk about your former relationships, your old boyfriends, your baby's daddies, your ex-husbands, your ex-hookup buddies. Don't talk about that. They want to know that they are the only person, even if they are not, they are the only person that can captivate your attention. And you don't have to tell them, well, listen, I got plenty of people, trying to talk to me. No, ladies, don't do that. And I'm hoping that you all understand that. Because there's some, and I can't assume that we all know. We are our sister's keeper. And I'm here to keep my sisters from screwing up a potentially great opportunity to meet some man that's absolutely wonderful, because she doesn't know what not to say. All right, I've told you what to say or how to say it, but you got to make sure that you don't say the wrong thing. Just like you don't want him to come and tell you. Think about it. How would you tell you the wrong thing? How would you feel if a man came up there, you know what? You remind me of my ex-wife. What? I would? I remind you of a who? No, I don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. So make sure that you treat somebody the way you want to be treated. You don't want to talk about their credit score. You don't want to ask them if they've been through bankruptcy. Now, if he wants to lend that information, then fine. But again, the greatest position you can have, women, is one of a listener and one of someone that shows some type of support by listening. And how do we do that? We're able to ask them questions or continue the conversation with what it is that they want to talk about, as long as it's appropriate. Do not talk about money. You gold diggers out there, if you want to know why he's treating you like a trick, you want to know why he's treating you like a thought, it's because you are behaving like one. Oh, Poppy, oh, I like that gold around your neck. Oh, that's a nice Rolex. Oh, that's a nice, those are some nice Pierre Corte shoes. Oh, that's Hugo, his jacket autumn, comes up. Oh, that's a nice, Hugo Boss suit. Or you got a custom-made bespoke suit. Oh, you balling. Don't do that. And then the other thing of it is, ladies, don't ask a man for anything unless you are in a relationship, because a man wants the opportunity to show that he can provide for you, even as he's getting to know you, simply so he can show you that he is caring, that he listens. One of the things that I shared with one of my friends is, he said that, I'm sorry, I'm hearing myself talking. He said, I'm sorry. He said to me, he said, sometimes a man just needs you to know that he's listening. And when a man shows you that he's listening, he usually does it with his wallet. So you don't have to ask him. All you have to do is present yourself and let him know. You don't have to give him, oh, I sure do like them Louboutin shoes. Well, if you got on Louboutins, he says you like Louboutins. But if he takes you to the mall, or you all are going just walking or something, and he's looking through a magazine, or hey, you ever heard of those red bottom shoes? That's something you like? Absolutely, I do. Don't tell him, but it's too expensive, because I tell people all the time, and I know people are not going to agree with me when I say this, and it's okay. But if somebody wants to come and give you expensive gifts and they can afford it, take the freaking gifts. But make sure you are clear that me taking these gifts are not in exchange for you getting something from me that I am not willing to give. Be very, very clear. And that brings me to something else, ladies. Men don't read your mind. So tell them what you want. Let them know what the boundaries are. Let them know what it is that you mean. Mean what you say and say what you mean. Men get so frustrated because of the simple fact that we want to sit up and act like that they are the culprit for the relationship woes because they don't get us. Well, they're not going to get us. They're not us, okay? And that's true, Sharmika. You got other thing is, leave the past in the past. All right. Make sure, and I'm so glad you said that. Make sure that, if you are having a challenge or have had a recent challenge in a relationship, don't go bringing that up. They're not there to fix you. They are not there to be your shrink. They're not there to be your psychologist. They're not there to be your psychoanalyst. They are not there to be that. They are there to get to know a woman that is whole. Whole men want whole women. When the Bible says the two shall become one, it didn't say two halves. It's two whole people that know what their shortcomings are, their issues are, their challenges are, and that is it. And you present an honest picture of who you are, because many of us go around not being honest. We go around wanting to present this facade, and then we get mad when the man doesn't respond to us. It's just like, and you all who've been watching me before, I love me some makeup. I love the lashes. I'm so girly. I am one of the girliest women that I know. And all of my girlfriends are very, very girly, just like me. And one of the challenges is, I tell somebody, I had somebody come tell me, you know what, you're probably beautiful all the time. I said, honey, I don't wake up looking like this. I'm not Beyonce. I did not wake up like this. I did not. This takes a little work. But be honest, because some men, they're like, you know what? I actually like you better without makeup. So don't assume that you got to put all this on. Most men, they like a la natural look. All of them don't like all of this glam stuff. Now, it's nice to look at from across the room because it's not normal for some women, because most women either don't take the time to do it, or not interested in it, or maybe they don't know how to do it. And all of that's fine. If you're not into it and you're an eyeliner kind of girl, lip gloss baby, go out, make sure them eyebrows are arched, make sure them lips are looking nice and supple, and make sure that you look presentable. All right? All right, now we got that, all right? So, and again, like Sharmika said, make sure that you don't bring up the past. You don't need to have a whole conversation about why you broke up with your ex-wife, why you broke up with your girlfriend. I need to know. Well, you can know along the way. If he and willing, when he is willing to share that, he will share that. You really don't have to ask unless you're in a comfortable situation and you see that he is opened up to do that. Because the worst thing you want to do is come and try to force a man into a conversation he's not either comfortable having, and if he's not comfortable having with you, that's a sure tell sign that he's probably not into you. Because a man who really wants to pursue you as part of the chase, he knows automatically he's going to have to open up with conversation to chat with you. Okay, and he doesn't mind doing that, but you got to take it at his pace. Again, pump your brakes, slow down, and enjoy this journey. Again, I'm not talking about wasting time with people that you know you are not compatible with, you have no interest in. I'm talking about spending your time with people that you know will be a good addition to your life, okay? Not somebody's going to complete you, but somebody's going to be an asset to you, and you can be an asset to them. Say that again, okay? And so, well, I can't say that again, but because I don't know which part you came in on. But just, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. And so it's very, very important, ladies, okay? It's also very, very important that if you're going to have a conversation with a man, that you don't have a negative conversation with the man. One of the challenges I have very difficult friends. Some of my friends actually are on here. And they are difficult people. And sometimes the conversation get a little heightened because remember, one of the things that I said last week and the week even before that was it's very, very important that you become friends with the people that you're interested in building relationship with, because that's when they can let their hair down, you can let your hair down, and you can be free to be who you are, the real life-size version of who you are, good, bad, ugly, and everything in between, okay? And so I understand sometimes you're going to have little conversations that can get a little testy, but you still got to know, all right, let me back up, especially if you want the relationship to go beyond the friendship role, okay? Ladies, I hope you're paying attention because I'm really trying to help you out, all right? Now, here's the other thing is, don't sit down and talk about yourself all the time. Well, I did this, I graduated from Stanford, or I went to Harvard and I got my MBA, at Yale, and, I'm the senior vice president for a Fortune 500 company. Now, if he asks you what you do, you know what? I work for a corporate America. Well, tell me about more what you do. Now he's showing you that he's actually interested in what you're saying. If you start divulging all this stuff, there's nothing for him to get to know. Getting to know a woman, this dance, this chase, it's almost like undoing an onion. You all ever peel back an onion? There's layers to that onion, okay? And the more you pull back, the more potent the smell gets, the more the aroma gets intensified. It's the same thing with the conversation. Let him peel back the layers. Let him find out little by little. Make the chase worth it. If you tell him everything now because I just want him to know, so, if he's not going to be with me, he can just go on by this way. No, ladies, pump your brakes. Pump them, pump them, pump them. All right? You'll chase him away. I know it makes sense to you, but men don't think the way we think. And if you want a man, you got to think like a man. Okay? Act like a lady, but think like a man. All right? No pun intended to Steve Harvey. All right. You also want to make sure that you open up conversation to the degree that it makes him want to not only listen, but it wants to allow it makes him want to reveal more of who he is in those conversations. Like I said, it's a wonderful thing if you can take a date or go out for coffee. Go do something during the day on a Saturday afternoon, because you don't have that romantic expectation when you're doing something in the evening time. And so you want to make sure that you're listening and that you're giving him something to converse with about, that you're not giving them the, yeah, no, I don't know, I don't think so. The verbiage that says, I'm closed off. You won't meet a man being closed off because you're still relishing in the hurt that you just went through, or you don't trust a man. Now, if you're just out and you need to, try it out, you practicing, let the brother know, hey, I'm practicing on you. I'm really not interested in dating. And I talked about that last week too, and the week before. Let him know what your intentions are if he shows that he's interested in going further than, hello, my name is, okay? So show some manners. It's okay to compliment him. It's okay to tell him, you look so handsome in that suit. Or you know what? I love the tone of your voice. Or you know what? I like what you just said. That was so smart. Can you kind of help me understand how you came up with this? Help me understand how you think. Show him that you're really, really able and willing to understand who he is and how to date. Yes, you got to practice dating, because some people out there, they haven't practiced, honey, and they still dating like they're 16, or they're going through the interrogation stage and no man wants to be interrogated and they don't know how to behave. So you just let them know, because some men, and I'm going to tell you something, I come across so many men, they really want to be married. I cannot tell you how many times people have said to me, you know what, if you weren't married, I would marry you. You're the perfect girl. Well, you know what? It's not necessarily that I'm the perfect girl, because they don't know me. But what they do understand is that what I project to people, what I let people see of my life, how I carry myself, how I behave in public, how I behave towards them or someone else. And so when those things are found appealing, a man will hunt. Again, but you got to be positioning yourself to be hunted. And here's the other thing, ladies, and I said this and I kind of touched it, and I'm going to say it again. If a man is not interested in you, he will show you he's not interested in you. Okay? If a man won't make time for you and you got to beg him for his time, understand this. And it doesn't mean he's not a great guy. It just means that his focus is on something else. And you've got to be woman enough to step back and say, you know what? This could potentially be great, but the timing is all wrong. I started off this conversation by talking about one of those things that's important. You've got to make sure that the timing is right, not just for you, because you're not going to be in this by yourself, but the timing is right for you and him. You might be in the midst of pursuing goals. I have associates that are in the midst of pursuing career goals or academic goals. And although they really want to be in a relationship, they are really, really great human beings. However, their time just does not dictate that. And I'm going to tell you another thing. You ladies who are trying to find these men who have all this money or have all this stuff going for them, and you think they're going to be up under you, they cannot afford to be up under you and work at the same time. So you're going to have to decide which one you want. You want all of his time, or you want him to be the kind of provider that he wants to be and enjoy being. Because I promise you, a man loves to shower his woman with gifts and items of gratitude or shows of gratitude, if you give him an opportunity and a reason to be that kind of man. But you have to be understanding, okay? The other thing is, you have to appreciate him. I see so many unappreciative women. I don't understand that. You don't know how to say please. You don't know how to say thank you. One of the things that I do, and I know you all, okay, let me talk to these modern women just for a second. Okay, I know if a gentleman asks you out for lunch, dinner, whatever, you can pay for your own. I get it. You got your own money. I get it. I understand. However, when you go out with a gentleman, just ask him before you sit down for dinner. I understand he invited me out to dinner. He should expect it that I can ask for the most expensive thing on the menu, and it shouldn't be a problem, because if he wasn't ready, he shouldn't have asked me. No, ladies. Again, that's not being a lady. That is reminiscent of a gold digger. And that's not the type of thing you want to send to a man that you are considering as somebody that can be a potential person that you would date seriously or a potential mate, okay? And so be considerate of him and appreciate him. Hey, thank you for inviting me out to dinner. I really, really appreciate that. And, what do you want? Because men, what they will do, I've seen it. They don't know how much the budget is. And so what they'll say is they'll see how much you're going to order, and then they'll order water and say, oh, I'm not that hungry. I ate before you, depending on what his financial status or situation is at that moment. Okay? And don't fall for the okie doke, ladies. If you go out to dinner and the brother wants to pass you the bill and he asks you out, you pass it right back to him and you get up and you walk on out. Because that's one thing you don't do. You don't want to get played. But I don't know too many men. That's boys that do stuff like that. But grown men, I often tell my sons, actually, I told my sons, if you're going to take a young lady out on a date and you know where you're going to take her, go online, look at the menu, make sure, and all men don't know to do this. So ladies, don't come to them like you should know this. No, they don't always know, okay? So cut them some slack, and I'll show you how to cut them some slack. But they should go online or go to the restaurant before you get there and see what the most expensive meal is. So if it's a beverage, an appetizer, the entree, and a dessert. And based on that, the most expensive thing, he should decide if he can afford to take you there or not, and him eat at the same time, all right? If you're going out for cocktails, which I'm not, this is a no judgment zone, and you like to drink, Hennessy White, you like to drink, the top shelf, whatever it is you like to drink, don't go order an expensive drink and you don't even want to say anything but hello. Don't use a man. Appreciate a man. Ask him, listen, Is there a budget that you would like to stay in? Now, you might say, he's just being cheap. No, a wise man who governs himself well over his finances, he probably won't tell you that there is a budget. Just get whatever you want. But be considerate and don't get more than what you're going to eat. You sit up there, you eat 10 nibbles now. Let me talk about me, because some of you all know my journey. I don't eat a lot. So they already, my husband knows going in, I'm not going to eat a lot. Even when I go out with my girlfriends, if they want to treat for lunch, they already know Tia ain't going to eat a lot. She's going to have a doggy bag going home. But here's the thing. Don't go out and order lobster. You take 2 bites and you taking it home so you can share with you and your other boo thing that's going to come over right after this one drops you off, because you got to get that bounce going before the end of the night. Don't do him like that. Appreciate him. Let him know you appreciate him. One of the things that I think is so wonderful when a woman says, you know what I appreciate to her husband? I appreciate being in this partnership with you. I appreciate the fact that you thought about enough to call me this morning. Or thank you so much for thinking of me. If it's one of those things I told you I love is those morning texts. Just to let me know that I am one of the first things on your mind. I know you love God. God comes first, but I like to believe I come second. So I'm so spoiled. Pray for me. But I understand that I enjoy having someone to pay me attention, but he also enjoys to be paid attention. So that goes both ways, lady. So sometimes if it's okay, if you've been out on a date, you enjoyed yourself, and he's invited you out again, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. It's okay. Hey, I had a great time. Do not play those childhood games. Well, I'm going to wait 3 days before I call him. That's silly. You grown. We don't play silly games like that. We actually do what we're supposed to do. All right. And so I want you to go on and make sure that you invite him to a conversation that sounds like, I appreciate you spending time with me. I had a fantastic time. How was your trip? How was your day? What's been going on? Listening to him. And so you want to make sure you want to do that. And never, this is another thing. Don't back a man into a corner where he feels like he has to do something for you. He's got to take you out. No, it's a choice. Don't take his choice away because you don't want him to take your choice away. And if you go out on a time, you go out and he doesn't say, hey, can we do this again? Don't you ask him, because you're setting yourself up to be disappointed, or for him to say, yeah, I'll take her out. She's that in between chick. Yeah, I just spend my time with her, but that's really not the one. Because when a man wants you, he's going to hunt. He's a hunter. He's going to ask you because he does not want to miss out on that good thing that's called you. All right. And let's see. The last thing I want to say is this. Don't bend on your non-negotiables. As you are going on this hunt, this dance, this chase, don't forget your non-negotiables, ladies. Have standards and respect your own standards. I have something that I call the law of expectation. I set up what you can expect from me. Anything outside of that I did not tell you can expect, don't expect it, and you don't have a right to get mad about it. And so when you present yourself like that, ladies, not in an egregious kind of, not that kind of way, but just let them know, you know what? Because if he's asking questions about you, let him know. One of the things that's very, very important is, that I get a chance to know somebody before I get into a committed relationship. And if they ask you, what does commitment look like? Well, commitment look like, if I'm a Christian, commitment to me looks like I'm going to be celibate. I would love to wait till I'm married. That's a great time to bring that up. Or I've never been with somebody, so I don't want to be pressured in that area, but I really want to get a chance to know you as a person. Again, they don't read your mind, so don't put them in the position to have to read your mind, okay? And just remember this. Let him hunt. Let him. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not a strong woman. It does not mean that you can't make the decision, because again, I told you, when we say I do or we accept their proposal, we're actually, or do we want to go, we want to be exclusive with that person, we're actually making the decision. But he's making the decision to get into this dance with us. If you're not interested in him, let him know. Don't bruise his ego. Don't hurt him and harm him and maim him for the next woman. But make sure you let him know, I am interested. I appreciate you spending time with me. Speak sweetly to him. Be kind to him. Don't give him wife benefits. You are not his wife. Don't be giving up the cookies. Don't be doing none of that. Don't be doing any of that other stuff that goes up in this region either, because it's not what you call sex. Don't have those kind of conversations that you know are going to put you in a heated situation, and you know that that is going to cloud everything that you could potentially learn about him. Because when you get to be intimate with a man, and understand this, let me say this and I'm going to go. Men will be intimate with a woman they have opportunity with. Women normally are intimate with men that they have a connection with. Okay? And so let him know, even though you might be attracted, I want you to know that I am worth the chase. I am worth the wait. And once I'm ready to be subdued and I'm ready to get into a real relationship with you, I want you to know that I will make sure that I am clear, that I don't send little innuendos. I don't play games with your head or in your mind. I'm going to mean what I say. I'm going to say what I mean. And I'm going to pump my brakes so that I can make sure that I am the one that's being chased and I'm not chasing you. Well, listen, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you share this with somebody. Please join me next week. We're going to talk about some other things that are a little bit different than this relationship piece, although we will talk about relationships. But I want to talk about you, yourself, not your interaction with someone else, but I want to talk about you to you. So make sure you share this with somebody. Help me reach 5,000 viewers this week. And you can do that by sharing this as much as you possibly can. Share this with every single woman you know, every woman that's about to get back into the dating game, not familiar with the dating game, and even some men that you know, because I've given some information here so that the men will know what to do and what not to do. Do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions? If you got some questions, ask me right now. If you want to say it privately, please do me a favor and inbox me. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. Make sure that you push the let me see if I can show it to you. Let me see if I can show it to you. The notifications button on your Facebook, because Facebook has changed a lot. And so you want to make sure that you push the notifications button and let people, you know, so that you'll know when I come on live. All right? So I'm going to try to see if I can get out of this. All right. So I'm going to show you something really quickly. Let me go to somebody else's page because I can't do it on my page. Let's go to, all right, I don't know this person, but I don't know if you can see this, but right here, there's either a follow button. You can follow me because I've got too many friends, but still follow me so we can stay in touch. And then right here, you'll see some lines over here. You want to make sure that you push the button that says, hey, I want to be notified. And do me a favor. If you are interested in this for grown folk only, people who are looking to be married, finding the right husband or wife, okay? I said a few weeks ago that I will be willing to host a mixer here in Atlanta right before the Christmas holiday for people who are married-minded. They want to get a chance to meet people who have the same mindset as them, the same goal as them, to get into a long-term marital relationship, and you want to get an opportunity to meet those people. If that's something you're interested in doing, make sure that you comment below or make sure that you inbox me so that I will know and I'll see if we have enough people to make this particular situation happen. So it's going to be before Christmas, after Thanksgiving, but I want to put together a real grown-up mixer for marriage-minded people because I've been asked to do so. And I know so many single people who deserve to meet one another. And so again, I'm going to conclude this time, but thank you so much for watching. Those of you all who are watching me by YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe. Again, people on Facebook, I love you so much. Let's keep this going. We got a good thing going. Tuesdays with Tia. Make sure that you join me again next time. And make sure that you share. Okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye.